ये देवू किसको ढूंढ रहा है अब?
जैसे राम बाबा जी।
साई मेरा बच्चा है, साई।
जैसे राम बाबा जी।
Oh, I thought ऋषि का किया। वो चलो पुत्र। अच्छा, I didn't understand दीपक जी, इस सबके हाथ में चाय पहले क्यों दे दी आपने? अच्छा, मतलब ओम नहीं करना? नहीं, मुझे पता नहीं, आप लोगों ने कुछ चेंज किया था, मैं जानता नहीं। अब तो ठंडी हो जाएगी राजा, बाद में वापस आते हैं। अच्छा ओके, अच्छा ओके। राजा यहाँ गुंडागर्दी चलती है रघु। दे हैव अ फुल गैंग, आपस में सेटलमेंट कर लेते हैं कौन कॉफी पिएगा, कौन चाय पिएगा, पहले किसको मिलेगी, विल बी द फर्स्ट वन। और ऐसा लग रहा है मेरे को तो सब जैसे ना, द होल गैंग इज देयर अराउंड। ये पुत्र देखो, आई विल शो यू समथिंग। ये देखो, सी दिस, सी दैट। अभी 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 एक वन गुंडा has gone inside, one has left, two are absent, so it's okay. Full chair, ना? आपके व्हाइट कपड़े कहाँ हैं? सवेरे ट्रक चलाना नहीं, फिर सफेद कपड़े क्या बोलते हैं? उन पे लिखा हुआ है इस पे पहन के ट्रक ना चलाएं। अच्छा अच्छा, बड़ा ज्ञान है आपको। चले, श्री सच्चिदानंद सदगुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। लेट्स कम बैक टू द वर्ल्ड। I've heard about cocktail, but coffee tea cocktail I've seen for the first time. Black coffee with a tea mix. No. Nishi is smart. She's into accounts. If he doesn't faint, then maybe next time.
I did try a couple of times.
तो पुत्र वापस आते हैं। तो आज last few days or weeks, Baba's been trying to push me to something which I've been always trying to understand. Why does he want me to look into that? We had some discussion last few weeks, and we'll come back to this today. How many of you ever has read any scriptures, old scriptures? Any old scripture? Which one? Sai SatCharitra. Any of other books? Anybody else? No. Okay. You have seen a lot of plays and reports. आपने पढ़े हैं, सुने हैं? अच्छा, और अगर गरुड़ पुराण पढ़ा फिर तो आपको बहुत सजग रहना चाहिए, क्योंकि गरुड़ पुराण में तो एक एक पग का हिसाब किताब लिखा हुआ है। हर एक पग पे आपको, you have to be careful at whatever you think and decide and do, and what are the repercussions at place, how it is taken care of. Very much. People normally don't read it during that part, but it's good otherwise. It's fine. So coming back to one Purpur. Yesterday we were having a discussion, and I want to understand, किसी ने कहा खाली हाथ आते हैं और खाली हाथ जाते हैं. We come empty hand and we go empty hand. And Baba right away said, no, it's not true. We come with something, but what we go with, we can plan that. Amazing this old man is. We come with something because it's already destined. What you have to get, whom you have to get, from where you have to get, what give and take, everything is there. But you can change anything and everything. But there are certain, the supreme hierarchy is so strong that it has planned that certain options already with you depending on how you reach them. Now came up with, like, when you have to leave, you can change your, what baggage you want to take with you. Have you ever thought about it? We had discussed this in past few years back, 3-4 years back. We had discussed one thing was to plan our next birth. We have talked about this. Anybody remembers that? We have talked about we can plan what my next birth could be or what I want to be. So it comes back to, in today's time, what the difficulty or the challenges are that we all work so hard for our families, for our children, to give them the best, have them the best, and do anything and everything for them, right? We are ready to sacrifice anything and everything for their comfort or our family's comfort, right? Wonderful. But does it have a fine line somewhere that not beyond that I will not do it? That this is my timeline, till this time period I will do whatever it takes me. Beyond that I will not do it. That's it. And why that is, and why that fine line should be there or should not be there, I can learn from all of you. That's no problem. I'm open to that. But why that line should be? You Azra?
ऐसे उसने बात हुई कि उसको कुछ चाहिए था, उसको नीड नहीं है, वही है, आप किधर वो लाइन ड्रॉ करें? सब कुछ दे सकते हैं, कहाँ पर वो स्टॉप करें?
The thing to do. Baba's been pushing me for something for last almost 2-3 weeks. And he takes me back. Every time I go, he takes me back. Every time I try, he takes me back. Then I didn't realize, why is Baba? Then he made me go through again and again and again. And then it came up that Baba's trying to take all the children that think something beyond in a day-to-day life. Think something little bit different from day-to-day life. And I said, Baba, why is this? Like, why different? Everybody's engrossed into, if you, like you called me that you have to go have your part, to take the family one Sunday, we have to go. There was something had to happen. Everybody has something. But when is that timeline that I have nothing except you? I will not do anything except you. We talked about, in our Granthas, Vedas, we had talked about Vanprastham. Right? And it's hard in today's world. I've heard few people in India, not here, that being one of the top most names in India, left everything, gave it to the son, and went to the ashram. But this is also like I'm talking about 8-9 years back. Amazing. And that gentleman I'm talking about, one of the only companies in India before government press took over, we used to print passport forms. One of the only companies in India who were number 2 in tool and die making. Like a lot of good things. One of the best parts. But he dropped everything and went to his Guru Ashram.
What happened to him?
He's there now. I don't know what happened after.
No, but I mean, like when he was in ashram, like what was?
The routines in the ashram. So he took a responsibility of one thing in the ashram, because ashram has press. He was part of the press, so he took a responsibility to work at the press.
I mean, what was the benefit to him by doing that?
So what happens is now you're doing everything for the family, right? Now you're doing everything for your guru. You surrender to him. Every job, every breath, either you're chanting, taking his name, taking care of one's responsibility, the best you know, and now you're dedicated to that part of life. Nothing to do with the world. People can come and meet you, but you're there.
Or what's the benefit? Or what's the point?
So what happens? Now you're getting the time you have is basically not a daily routine. Now it is a time of bhakti of yours. Every time. You have 24 hours to do whatever you want to. How much can you dedicate to connect with him? See, ultimately one thing is there. Today, tomorrow, in this birth, may not be in this birth, up to your choice. Somewhere you have to have a connection to grow. Right now we're talking about connection. Before ages, it was not connections. It was that sadhana was part of everybody's life. Meditation. Meditation is a little modernized word, but not sadhana. Sadhana is, sadh is like mastering of, more sadhic. That is what goes beyond that part. So now we are so much into that run. Even the kings who had the kingdoms those days would come to a point, give it to my son, and I'm gone. Left everything. Those days there was no. They used to go to forest, have a kutir in the forest, an ashram little bit, and be there.
So how are we supposed to do that in our life now? Like, are you?
We'll come back. Okay.
To answer your question, you still have the right question first to get the answer. And that is, what is the purpose of birth? What is the purpose of birth?
Of work?
When you find that, you will know how to spend the last time. Time is your currency.
You're
Where to
saying
spend
then
it.
you'll know how to spend the last time?
Yeah, whatever is left.
But that could be right now too.
Yes.
It could be any time.
It could be anything. But coming back to your point now, what happens is what Danny said is that you've been given certain currency, and currency is what your breath, not your age, how many breath. We don't control that. Right? Correctly said that how much do you value your breath? Do you value that I'm putting all my time and efforts towards just keeping a peace with my Deva, keeping a peace with my family? Wonderful. But even to my family, how will, like, supposedly all of us doesn't have a responsibility towards our family also, to our children, to our spouse, everybody, or to mother, father, brothers. We also have that equal responsibility of giving them the best we have. Now we only have the best if we have a best brain, we'll give them the best brain. We have the best part of monetary funds in our account, we'll give them that. But if we don't have the essence of any constructive evidence of knowledge, wisdom, what for whom would you give what? See, you can only give somebody what you have. If you don't have it, how will you give it?
So the only way to connect or stay in that is by going away from it?
Okay.
Or eventually?
Great. So there are two things. On a day-to-day life, if you have your work, your job, you have to start working on that period of time. Like, what you will do, you will basically, when you're working also, you are aware of yourself. You're aware of your consciousness. That's all. And you keep on yourself improvise. What is the improvisation? Let's suppose somebody said hard to you, bad to you, somebody tried to pull you down, somebody tried to push you away, somebody tried to make you negative, so many good things around it, right? Misguide you, mislead you, purposely provoke you. How you keep yourself content is the key. Now, what is contentment here? Contentment here is that I know I'm not going to let I use very often use this word called manasthiti. You know what manasthiti is, right? Okay. Your inner situation. The trouble is not with the situation, with the inner situation. The situations will always keep changing. But if your inner part is controlled, what is happening outside will not make a difference. You will overcome that. So how you progress inside, you are gradually able to come out of things.
But okay, the example that you gave, right? So if that guy actually came back into society again after a few years, he would have actually been able to much better handle whatever issues, problems that were coming into his life because he trained himself for a few years. We're trying to do it while still living here, which is like
So basically what you're doing is that you're telling me I would like to go away for some time, practice my peace and come back, which is fine. To the point, what we are trying to go over is that you still have to gradually keep on moving towards him. A question is, what the purpose of birth? Is it death? Is it connection? Elevating, joining, surrendering. Because the only problem in today's time is that in Ghor Kali Yuga, it is not about otherwise. It is that we are so much into day-to-day part of life. Like a child came up to me one day, few days back, he said that they're expecting me to do every day something. Now I told the child that one day you must give it to your family. One day. You must spend good time. It's not like you don't spend every day, but they want that quality time of yours. You must give them that quality time. When you give it to your family, that quality time you have to give it to Bhagavan also, to your whoever you believe in. Doesn't matter. That quality time must be given to him also. So what happens when you give that quality time? You know how you sometimes often one day a week you prefer to eat something special. You crave for something. That craving should come to work for him. At least once. So gradually, it's once a month, bi-weekly, weekly, daily, hourly. That's a progress. You're always in that state. That's beauty then. Then you're gone beyond. And you're always in that state of mind. But right now you have to learn to move towards it. Why we are talking this today? We all hear about Mahabharata, right? We all know about Mahabharata. Put leash like no band ke unhu de dena. What can anybody? All of you learn it. You might definitely know it. What was the? Who decided that Mahabharata will happen? Okay. Who else? Krishnji was part two, but
He wouldn't have taken birth without that. His birth wouldn't have been complete without Mahabharata.
right. But who took the decision that Mahabharata will happen? Shakuni was Krishna is better. Shakuni was part of it. Brahmaji. And why Brahmaji? Ki Ma Prithvi went to Brahmaji that I'm very tired and sick of what's happening on the earth. I want some peace. Go. Then Brahmaji went to Lord Narayan. कि प्रभु समय आ गया है आपके अवतार का. Then, and that is where the whole then Ma Ganga's role, Surya Dev's role, Gandharv Dev, everybody's role started happening. What does it mean here out to be? And there are a lot of things in that. And my body shakes. I'm inside me. I'm shaking because it tells that what is the power of your bhakti as you grow. With just one mantra and little bit of jal in your anjali, you can change life. Any life. This much jal, this much water, like given to you like this, can change you to become anything. And one of the things this is going to shock you, all of you. I must tell you, I have been keeping with me that somebody, the intensity was to purify them anytime. Anytime. Just this much water. You can be, like suppose, you can be a how do you call it? Can I give you common characters? Will come back. You all know about Panda's wife. What is her name? Draupadi. Draupadi, whenever she had to go to any of her husbands, and the time was slot, she was always blessed with Kanya Bhav.
That was given by Rishi.
What's that? Kanya Bhav.
She was like, she's living with, she had 5 husbands to be part, right? She lived with one husband. When she goes to the other husband, she's back to the original form, being Kanya Bhav. Kanya is the girl, right? Her, what I'm feeling is that is the power of that one mantra, blessing, power of that. And all it comes what Rishi Vedvyasa ji, how much intense, powerful giving, just by sitting and giving, let the Dhritarashtra and Pandu and Vidur be born. Just sitting. We'll discuss the story, but what I want to come back is, all of you have to find out the inside of you. So time to tell. I really want one of you at least come up to connect with yourself to the highest form of Lord. Spend some time every day. You are very blessed, mera bacha. Trust me, you're very blessed. Every human being on the planet is very blessed.
That's fine, right? What I heard, like, I have to take a message which all back. You will take 10%, 10% आपको एक दिन का अपना देना चाहिए.
But that's one part of it. What you all of you have a knowledge of everything, but do you really transform? You know everything, all of you. Knowledge is every part. Wisdom is where. So today I just felt I'll just discuss with all of you. I actually was telling Baba, I'll make everybody read one chapter from today onwards, turn by turn, everybody. But when are you going to find yourself? When? Aragu? When, Raja? How much time do you need more?
We are working on it. It happens.
Putter, work in progress. If you are happy what you're doing, wonderful, Berabacha. I have no questions on that. But that is you if you're working on, and how much you're working on. Is everybody working on?
You can speak for them.
Exactly. Nothing but me. I'm not expecting you to change your overnight, leave everything. But I'm only requesting you. You are intense, powerful. Your bhakti can change anything, mera bacha. Yes, it is there. Your good thought can actually create anything. But when will that come up is the only thing.
I think everyone is working on it on a certain level. I can speak for everybody other than myself, but if they are here, there is an attempt to work on it.
But what happens is there are two things there. As you correctly said that you can, yes, only say what you are doing about yourself is right. But what I would come out is that sometimes you bring the tools with you, but do you use them when you take them? Is everybody using it? It's just I'm trying to tell, that's all. I'm not going to ask anybody anything. I don't want to, because I want you to know from yourself. Are you working? Are you thinking every day? Are you only thinking ki aaj this has not happened, that has not happened, this has not come, that has not come, this gone, that gone, this problem, that problem, this disease, that disease, this minus, that plus? Is it just going on this?
So before I go to sleep, like, I always square up my balance sheet. So every day.
हाँ, सोमो आप चाय पी लो राजा.
ये चाय पीऊंगा तो रह जाएगा।
नहीं, फिर आप या तो चाय को रख दो क्योंकि वो गिर जाएगी। इसको खींच लो, ठंडी हो गई है राजा, ठंडी हो गई है वो, तो which is fine. But only part is Raja, whenever you have an opportunity, take Ramayana. Before you read Bhagavad Gita, read Mahabharata, read any Puranas. It's okay, mera bacha, don't worry. No, I don't know. So my only request is, on a day-to-day basis, yes, very beautifully said, you have limited currency left. We all have very limited currency left. And unfortunately, this is not exchangeable. You cannot get bigger denominations. You can get bigger denominations only at one time. Only one time, when you have totally surrendered and connected to Him. Like you have gone to a stage of sadhana where you are got connected, locked, then it could be any age. Then nobody can take you from there.
Then why? Then you have to. How you gonna? Okay, like तुम्हारी responsibilities जो है उसके साथ करना ना।
हमने इसीलिए एक बात करी मेरे बच्चे, आपने डिसाइड करना है, ये आपको काम करना है कि आपने वो फाइन लाइन कब ड्रॉ करनी है। डेली तो काम करना ही है, थोड़ा थोड़ा पानी तो रोज देना ही है, एवरी डे लिटिल बाय लिटिल वाटर यू हैव टू गिव इट, बट टिल व्हेन इज देयर अ डेडलाइन दैट दिस इज लाइक यू हैव अ रिटायरमेंट एज, you have a retirement age, then you think, now I'm retired, I'm not going to work, I'm getting my pension. Have you accumulated that kind of a karma that when you come to that stage, you can spend the rest of your time?
There is no other choice.
हाँ, पर पुत्री आजकल ऐसा है नहीं।
There is no other choice.
मेरे बाबा की दया से कुछ ऐसे लोगों को जानता हूँ जिनको जैसे बहुत प्रेम है भगवान से, लेकिन वो अपनी डेली लाइफ नहीं छोड़ सकते। 80 साल, 84, 85, 70, well, good life period, but they are not willing to live their life. Not one or two people.
Wow, it's basically what's the purpose? See, what Sri Krishna said to Arjun in one of during the Mahapravachan, the Mahakavya, he said the ultimate purpose of every Atma is to come to me. That is the purpose of the birth. Connection, no connection, it's a perception. Connection is a perception. I'm very connected. Okay, yeah, you can't deny that, but you can't really prove that either. The ultimate truth is an Atma going back to Paramatma.
When?
And for that, Nishit, again, coming back to your question, if you think that there is a lot of work left, then you need to spend all your currency on that.
No.
Not on anything else. So if you think that you have progressed through your life daily routine enough to be very close to Him, then you will not need to do that. You can be really very, very aware
No,
and
but
still be here.
there's one part comes. When is that time that we get back to Lord Krishna? When? What is that stage when we get merged with Him?
The stage, there is no stage. Actually, you can't really define that. And at the end of the day, you can't really even ask Him to take you. He has to decide. Because there is no destination. The journey itself is destination. There is no destination.
Raja. If that is the part, then we don't need to do bhakti. Then we don't need to do karma.
See, that is again what is bhakti.
There are two parts of it, Raja, and there are 9 different ways that we talk about it. The karmic actions of yours, if it is not required, if we are 100% we're going to merge with them, then there's no good, bad, and ugly.
Exactly, there is no thing good, bad, and ugly.
Then we can do anything.
The whole thing is what is bad.
No, Raja.
We can't define bad.
No, we can define bad. No, Raja. No. My question coming back to you is, are you saying that we do anything? I beat him up. I beat Deva up, but I'm going to be merged with Lord Krishna?
No, if you beat him up, what's your purpose of beating him up?
No, I beat him up.
Well, without reason, if you beat him up, then you are doing the unkind thing. You're accumulating a karma on yourself.
So how will that repay that?
But when are you doing that? Listen, when are you doing that? Let me finish. When you're doing that, what is your purpose? What is your bhav? Beating itself is a different thing. What's your bhav connection?
I said anything.
No, anything is not nothing.
Let's say he did something really bad.
Deva did something really bad, then he has to be given a guidance for his birth. And for that, if he has to be stopped from doing that again, he has to be given that treatment. But while doing that, what is the bhav? Is the bhav for his good, or is the bhav to vent out the anger because he did it?
Okay, let's say we went out the anger.
That's wrong.
So what is the repercussion towards me?
Only he can know. How can I know?
But will there be a repercussion? I'll still merge with him.
Absolutely. It's going to delay the merging. Absolutely.
Now exactly to the point now, right? This is to understand, right? So he accepts there is a repercussion of the action what I did.
There is a repercussion for every action.
Understand one. There's a repercussion for every.
From good or bad, but there is a repercussion.
We agree that, right?
Absolutely, that has to.
Okay. So this is where it comes down to be your every single action. No matter what it is. And you know how Danny just said, you don't, the connection part of it. No, that's not right. A person who is in a stage of connectivity, there are certain transformations of energies at that moment of time, or maybe all the time, maybe sometime, which transform certain things, which allow certain things to happen, which let certain things to be said, let certain things to be taken care of. Now, coming back to you, you said a certain time, getting an answer from Baba. How will that happen?
You are in the zone.
There has to be some connectivity.
Connection is always there. That's what I'm saying.
But then we don't get the answer every time.
See, the thing is, I'll explain you in a different way. I'll try. Most of the time, we are in the house and we are stepping out. Okay? Let be in the house being your Maya. Stepping out is outside of the matrix. Most of the time, we are always in, and as you said, we are all, when will we do it? Well, when will we step out? So when you step out, you don't need to be connected. You're always in the system. You just need to be coming out, disconnect from there, not connect. So most of the time we are inside and we come outside for a little while and go back. There will be a time where you will spend more time outside than inside. And then there will be a time where you will spend always outside at a certain level, and you will only go inside on need to basis. That is when Rishi said that when that person comes back to society, there is a lot of things that he can do.
So the question comes again here. You realized one thing, you said there was Maya inside, right?
There is always a Maya. But हम connect नहीं होते, हम disconnect होते हैं. Connection वैसे भी होती है.
वो वापस आता है. So, आपने माना कि आप डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए माया से और बाहर आ गए. पहली बात इसको प्रभाव बोलते हैं. प्रभाव जो है वो आपकी अपनी मन की स्थिति है. आप अंदर हो या बाहर हो उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. आप सारी दुनिया के बीच में होके भी आप कनेक्टेड हो और आप अकेले होके भी कनेक्टेड नहीं हो, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं है. कनेक्शन और डिस्कनेक्शन कुछ नहीं है. कनेक्शन और डिस्कनेक्शन का अर्थ ये होता है कि जब नहीं राजा, आपने जैसे एग्जांपल दिया ना बाहर आने का, बाहर अंदर कुछ नहीं है. हमारे अंदर आत्मा सदैव विद्यमान है. The spirit is always inside us. The elevation of your thoughts, elevation of yourself, pushing away all the other things and being in that state of mind is where what you need to work on. How that happens? It is very key. मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ राजा. हम अभी अभिषेक कर रहे थे बाबा को, right? All of a sudden, there is something comes up, a thought, your consciousness allows, something comes up. What you are feeling, what you are getting, only you would know. Nobody else would know around you. They may see some action or reaction, but have no idea about it, right? So that's you part of it. But is everybody in the same boat at the same time? No.
Nobody is ever actually.
Any. But that moment, everybody else won't be, right? So what happens is that we, as an edge, we get deeper into anything. Whether you get deeper into business, whether you get deeper into your job, whether you get deeper into your diving, in anything, the most, what happens is our life, as we grow in life, that is what we call experience of life, what we learned from day-to-day life activities. Now we come to a stage where we can tell our children, this is what we learn on day-to-day life. This was good, this was not good, this was right, this was not right, because we learned from that over the period of time. Now we can define what is right and wrong. Now we can guide somebody, what has happened, what I've learned. Certain people from the birth, so I'm forgetting Ved Vyasji. Maharishi Ved Vyas, the moment he born, within no time he became a 12-year-old child. Maharishi Ved Vyas, the moment after the birth, within few days he became 12-year-old. Right? Not everybody cannot be that, right? So somebody worked through that. There were people who were part of Sun, they were part of Indra, they were part of Dharamraj, but they all had a journey still to pass on. They still had an act of karma to pass on. Being now, imagine this: Vidurji and Yudhishthir, both are part of Dharamraj. Both of them. Still, one is bound to be a Kund and one is bound to be a son of a Dasi. Being both that of them. Awareness, consciousness, understanding is the same. Level of everything is the same. But there is some karmic actions of both which are different. From one person, both from Dharamraj, but one comes as the son of a Dasi, one comes as the king. Both are part of Dharamraj. So there are karmic actions. One curse changed Vidurji's life. One curse.
What was the curse? He was born as a curse because Dharmaraj was given the one rishi was doing prayers, and while he was meditating, some thieves came and put in their gold stuff in there and went. And the soldiers of the army of a king, they came searching, found that, and took the king to be guilty. They took the rishi to be guilty. The rishi was sentenced to death by hanging, and he hung. When he went to Dharmaraj, Dharmaraj told him, when you were small as a child, you had done some mistake, because of which you had to get this thing. And the rishi said that as a child, I did not have that understanding, and you've taken decision of punishing me for something I did as a child. So I cursed you. You will be born on earth, and you will go through all the tribulations that a human being goes through. You have to solve complex problems. You have no idea what it is living actually in earth in the Maya. You have to go through that, following those complex problems. So I cursed you.
And one thing more was there. That Rishi, when he was hanged, he did not die right away. He was hanged for the longest time, he still did not die. Then when the people found out that how come everybody else dead and he's not died, then they brought him down. Then they realized that he's somebody supreme, that his power is like somebody who did not die. Then they apologized to him, begged to him, and told him that, you know what, forgive us, we did not make mistakes. Then when he went to, after that, when he left to Dharamraj, the age fine line was 12 years old. That is where in the discussion he said, from today onwards, I make an age up to 14 for children to get away with that, if anything, innocently happening. Innocently, they will be forgiven. But otherwise, there's a repercussion of your karma. Thank you. So coming back to it, Raja, the karmas plays a major role, very major role on your day-to-day life. Your attachments. Why are these rishis, mahamunis, all devatas? Why are they able to overcome things? You know what is that? One thing, their attachments. We discussed it last time also. They're not into Moh Maya at all. They come to the earth, do their job. Even Ma Ganga, when she has to come and give birth to 8 children, she had to marry somebody. She married a man, gives birth to 8 children. After giving birth, she let 7 children go in her own water. Only the 8th son was left. And that is where it comes out to be not attached. She knew very well that whatever she is doing is by the promise and karma she has to abide by. You can find this. This is there. So being Ma Ganga, who purifies the whole world, still comes in a human form, marries a king. With marrying him, gives birth to 8 sons. And immediately after the birth, 7 children are left in the water by her as a mother. Nothing to panic. What to understand is, we all talked about it. The reason I brought this up, he brought it up. I think one time Danny brought it up. Our family is our responsibility. But if we see them as one more connection part to what to give them rightfully, you will have less problems. But if we have not love, but the attachment of, how do you define Moh Maya?
Moh is attachment.
No, but Moh has a different word.
Maya is delusion.
Moh has one more word. I always forget it. Raghu, what's the word of Moh? No, huh? You're also growing like me. Might be. Okay. So what happens is, because we get into that part of it, we start overlooking certain things which should not. We did not. Like, I'll give you an example. Yesterday night when we were discussing, all of us here, we told children to go inside. He started crying, right? Now, if we would, because we understood that's the need of the hour, we need to discuss, let them be inside. After some time, he was quiet. Just rough example I'm talking about, right? So we need to overcome that part of ourselves to be able to give our families, our children, the right guidance. Otherwise, we will not be able to, no matter what you say. Attachment.
कभी-कभी होता है ना, attachment download नहीं होता.
तो भाई इससे natural attachment जो है वो तो
Man-made natural है.
man-made है.
हाँ.
So you spend time with your family, you spend time with the kids, right? So isn't
वो अभी है ये. अभी है ये सब कुछ, पहले नहीं था. ये कलयुग की परिभाषा है सारी. It's all पहले नहीं था.
कोई connect नहीं.
There are so many things that by Baba's grace we'll discuss gradually that you'll be shocked, Putra. No, it's not that people do not love their families. It's not that. There are kings who died, Raja Dashrath, knowing everything fell into Moh of Prabhu Ram, knowing fully.
उनको पता था who was wrong.
It is that he let that part go. That is why he had to suffer, right? He was told before the birth who's going to be coming. You overlook that. That is your problem. No? If you've been told something, you need to remember this. What happens is certain things when they are told to you, you take it casually. Oh no, that's fine. That's okay. You know, this is what normal.
That's Maya playing over.
No, you let the Maya play you.
So,
Raja, it is so many. You let the Maya is stronger. I don't deny that. Maya is super powerful.
Very strong. Maya is very strong. I mean, Arjun, who was said to be the best disciple of Krishna, he fell into Maya. Even during the war, when it was going on, others would provoke him. Come and you are nothing. You cannot do anything. We will defeat you. You cannot. You are afraid to fight us. This and that.
So, what are you without Maya?
He would
Mayapati.
he would go into the Maya and he would fall into that and he would go. And Krishna would tell him, they are trying to provoke you. Don't go. That is not your karma. Your karma is to fight. You must go there. But still he would go and fight them and try to satisfy his ego. That is only satisfaction
How
of
we get
ego. That is
connected
Maya.
to stay with Moh Maya. Moh Maya में भी है भाई like बाबा के साथ भी connect होना है. So
what you said.
तो ये this is कलयुग. तो हम मोह माया में भी फंसे हुए हैं, हमें connect भी होना है.
एक मिनट.
And he had Krishna with him, telling him what to do and not to do. We don't even have that.
No,
Actually, we have Baba's voice.
No, like पर वही तो नहीं कलयुग भी है. तो हमें मोह माया में भी फंसे हुए हैं.
आपको पता है दुर्योधन का जो जन्म था, दुर्योधन का जन्म ही कलयुग का जन्म है.
That was the ushering. Yeah.
Duryodhan's birth. Raja, if Kalyug was not there, then you had to do sadhana for ages to get to Bhagavan. Because of Kalyug only, that today just a Naam Simran. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ओम नमो भगवते ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Samastu loka sukhino bhavantu. Shri Satchidananda Sadguru Sai Maharaj ki jai.
I was trying to answer Nishiben what she was saying, that even if Krishna was there, still Arjun was, so where are we? So in previous satsang, Baba has said that Mahabharata, the entire Kurukshetra Yuddha is within us. It is all within us. There is good within us, there is bad. The bad is Duryodhana and all that, that is within us. The good is also within us. And we have to learn to listen to ourselves. We have to connect with ourselves. And that is Krishna, to connect with ourselves. And that is why we are in this fight where always we have to make decisions, what is right, what is wrong. We have our conflicts and everything. So Mahabharata is within us. Similarly, Baba has also said that Kali is actually within us. It's not really outside us.
Right, जैसा भी हमने we get connected with हम थोड़ी देर के लिए connect होगा भी आ गया तो अब the problem is now जो हम बोल रहे हैं कि मोह माया के साथ पर वो तो attachment with the family, right? So these all things which actually like
प्रेम में मेरे बच्चे प्रेम करना.
I think remember आपने बोला था do your best for your family. I remember that you can change someone to आप उनको कुछ change नहीं कर सकते but we have to do our best like a responsibility.
मैंने 2 दिन पहले एक बच्चे को बोला, उनको ये बोला कि आप कमाते हो, पूरा धन अपने घर वालों को दो, जो भी whatever best you have to give. That's your first part. You have to work and earn and give it to your family. That's number 1. Number 2 part of that, give them their time when they need it. Give them. Third thing, don't get into arguments with them. You're not going to win that war, and you don't want to win that war. So don't get into argument also. They're arguing, they're shouting, screaming, yelling. The best sign of bhakti is that you are shanta. That is your best part of bhakti. That defines how much have you succeeded in your bhakti. Nobody else, nobody to prove. If you're not reacting, You are not saying any bad words. You are not yelling and screaming. That is your bhakti. And number 4, Baba said clearly, no matter what the world comes between, don't let your bhakti go down. The time of your bhakti is your time of bhakti. When they want money, you're given. They want time, you're given. You're not yelling and screaming at them. Now it is your time. Don't let that go. Why? Because that is your essence. That is your strength. That is your power. That is driving you. And that is taking you further. You're climbing the ladder up. Do everything for your family. Give them love, but don't get attached to that love. Don't. You have to give your children best thing, the best education. Education, just not the world education. The education of wisdom. How to define in difficult situation, how to keep away from things that you should not be attached to. What is that rightful things and decisions you have to take? You have to tell yourself also the same thing on day-to-day life. Because we are not there forever. If you're thinking that our children will also learn the way we learn, it's not happening. You are the guru. Give them that. Have to give them that. You cannot all the time say, bacha, okay. You have to have that measuring part with the child also. He should know.
तो जो हमने हमारे what we did karmas like what last year, so those karmas is it possible जो अपने गलत काम किए ये किया तो वो we have to face that.
मेरे बच्चे देखो, जो जा चुका है, जो कर चुके हो, उसको अनडू तो नहीं कर सकते. लाइफ में अनडू का बटन नहीं है, वो डू का बटन है.
There is no way we can change our control.
You can. अपने आप को उठा लो ना सबसे. Uplift yourself from everything. You're done. Who's going to touch you? Yamaraj can't touch you. You know what's his name? Bhisham Pitamaji ji. Who gave him that blessing that the death will not be able to touch you? Who was Shantanu? His father gave him the blessing. देखो पागल हो गया. His father gave him the blessing that you choose your path. And why did his father give him that? Huh?
Because of his vision to Bhadran. But see, the irony is that when Shantanu gave him that word, that book, he thought he's giving Dirg Ayu as a blessing, which turned out to be a curse. Why?
No. That was again a destined path, Raja.
But what was Shantanu's vow?
Shantanu's vow was what? That is what
मेरा
he
बच्चा.
pivoted, okay? That was my
But
question.
bhav became a problem for him, no, right? That bhav became a problem for him. Huh? So मेरा बच्चा, we take leave. Both of you remember, Raja. Loving and attachments are two different things, huh?
Yes.
Very important, मेरा बच्चा. हाँ? Sai मेरा बच्चा, Sai.
भाई जी, अभी ऐसा